This podcast is supported by advertising outside the UK.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
All right, welcome to the Yungblud podcast. Turn up that volume. Today I'm super excited to get to talk about my favourite thing in the world, and that is music. I've got Ashley on the show. She's female. She's 30 years old from Detroit. Shout out Detroit. She got a big break in the music industry in 2019. She's working at a live venue called St Andrews Hall, which I've actually played. It was one of the most mental nights of my life. It was like, I remember after the show, I was on a bin and there was like thousands of people outside and a car set on fire. It was pretty rock and roll. But it all came to a halt because of COVID, obviously. Now she's shielding to protect a housemate who has leukemia and misses live music so much. It's part of her identity. I love music as much as she does. She's such a rock star. Let's go. I'll probably swear. I'm sorry about it. Actually, I'm not sorry about it. Oops. Hello. Yeah. All right, Ashley, what's up?
How are you?
That show at St Andrews, I remember, because obviously you had to have the barriers. The barrier was like, it didn't fill to the walls. The barrier kept the kids in, and it was fucking nuts. Did I get on the bar at some point? I can't even remember.
You went out onto the dumpsters afterwards on top of it?
That was insane.
There was a car that was on fire in front of the building when you were leaving.
Oh my God, bruv, that is absolutely like, dude, that was like mental. Because my dad was there. I'm trying to find a picture of it now. My dad came and he was like, I have never seen craziness like this when I was on top of the dumpster, and it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was cool to see it from that way, like, because like when I work the shows and stuff, we don't normally have that kind of reaction, so it was very fun to be a part of that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, because obviously when we roll through, I didn't know if like it's like that every night, but it felt pretty crazy. I remember this. Like the security and the staff were like, whoa, man, what's going on? This is crazy.
Yep.
That's what music's supposed to feel like. You know what I mean? That's why we all get into music, right?
Oh,
you know what
100%.
I mean? To have those experiences. And I kind of like, it's always sick to kind of speak to someone with like a mutual adoration for music and the music industry. And I'm buzzing, man. When did you first like know in your life that you wanted to kind of get involved in music? Was it always music? Was that like the thing that made you tick?
Absolutely. Like I would draw a lot as a kid, but like in the background there would always be like Motown on. But when I was about 11 or 12, I got into Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 31 now, so almost 2 decades of my life. But seeing them live, going to the store and buying a CD and just like going to my friend's house and nothing else mattered, I knew from that moment I had to chase this feeling, and whatever I would have to do, I wanted to be around it all the time. There was no other way.
Dude, it was no other way. I think that's such a beautiful thing, because it is that feeling. It's that person understanding you, even though you've never met them in your life. And it's just absolutely, utterly mind-blowing how someone can know you and understand what you're feeling, yet you've never even met them.
And sometimes I know for me, like I couldn't express how I felt, but somehow these strangers, like you said, were just like, I'm like, can you get out of my brain? Because it doesn't make sense. How do you know these things? Maybe I'm not so alone.
Dude, exactly. And it's so crazy. Was it hard to kind of find a position in kind of music, to get a job in a venue? Was that hard?
Yeah, I had tried several years before. I would apply to anything like drink service, coat check, whatever you want me to do. But I always got stuck working retail and just being unhappy. But it took me probably 10 years. And then at one point I was just like, why bother? Like,
100%.
Why? But I reached a point of misery where I knew I had to try again. And luckily I met someone who had a similar background, worked retail, was so unhappy, needed a change. And somebody gave her a chance, and then she gave me a chance.
Dude, that's so sick. And that's the thing about it, man. It's just like anyone out there, like if you want to do something, literally grab it, because you can. Honestly, I think it's going to be hard, but you can literally get there. Were you buzzing when you found out you got your job at a music venue? Like you got to see bands and artists and people roll through every night?
Oh, I was working the job, like my retail job, and literally I was so upset every day. Every day felt like a bad day. When she called me and I got an email, I went out to my car and I just cried.
Yay!
I cried. I was like, this is going to be a game changer. And like, I've never looked back since. I was finally able to quit those retail jobs, and being in music, I'm the happiest I've ever been, even with it on pause, knowing that the hope of going back is there. Like, I don't ever want to do anything else with my life.
Yeah, I couldn't not imagine doing anything other than kind of what I do. I think I'd literally just like die if I didn't have music, you know what I mean, in any shape or form. And I think that's so sick. What was it? I bet it was quite hard when you found out the venue had to shut down because of COVID for a while.
I also cried.
Yeah.
Just cried again.
Loads of crying.
We weren't...
It's okay to cry, everyone. Just cry. Let's cry together.
I'm a Pisces. I'm just naturally crying.
Bro, I'm a weeper. I weep. A good book, a good film, a shit film, a quote on the side of the road, a photograph. I'm just like, I get so emotional. I don't know why. I just feel so much. I'm just like, that's just so beautiful. It's like, Dom, it's a picture of a lady holding an orange. I'm like, but it's the way she's holding the orange.
That's the beautiful thing about art, though, because it's supposed to make you feel something.
I absolutely agree. How's your mental health been through this kind of time?
It's been very difficult. I've always had mental health struggles. So then to finally reach such a high point in life where, like, again, even the bad days felt okay, to have that kind of all taken away and so suddenly, like we had a show March 12th and then we got the call that everything from March 13th on was done. And we were like, okay, well, maybe it'll just be a couple weeks. We'll relax. We'll come back. But we're almost at a year now.
Dude, it's absolutely crazy, ain't it, to even think about that. Your flatmate has leukemia, and you are so commendable because you took it so seriously, and you've been kind of looking out for your flatmate, right?
Yep, we have actually now been friends for 17 years. Wow. And we met because of music.
I love that.
That's how I've pretty much, I think, met all of my friends in life, is through music. So it's just been music, and especially live music, touches every part of my life. So that's been the struggle too, because she's the same way. So to not even have that outlet to even go as a fan and stand front row and scream to your favorite songs and probably cry some more, it's been so hard, because in those couple hours, nothing matters. You know, she doesn't feel sick for those couple hours. We don't feel, you know, it's so freeing, and it's hard to not even have that too.
Dude, it's so crazy for me even to not be on stage. Like, the thing about Yungblud, I think you kind of know, especially like that's why I go outside and stand on top of a trash can and meet, because it's about connection. It's about me going, I'm not that lonely because I've got you lot. And I think it's been so hard for me. You know what I mean? Even when we go into the venues we're looking at venues that are massive now. Even if I'm in an arena, I'm going to be in the car park afterwards, because that's what it means for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got into music to meet people, to have that connection, to I hate that there's a fucking barrier. I hate that there's a stage. I wish I was in the pit crying with you all. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what music means to me, and that's what it is. That's what I do it for. And anyone who is in music, anyone who has music and life revolves around music, all we have right now is hope. Like, because I know we're going to get back to the venues. I know we're going to do it. And it's going to be so cool. It's going to be like the biggest explosion of energy and passion and emotion and sex and sweat and longing. It's going to be so cool.
That's the one good thing I think we can take away from this is, you know, they always tell you that, like, taking distance from something or giving yourself some time, it makes you realize how much more you love it and how much more it does mean to you, or even if maybe it doesn't mean as much to you. But for me, it's just reiterating how much I love music, how important it is to me, and how I never want to do or go anywhere else from that.
Dude, I love it.
And I think that's how
you got a little pop.
of...
Got a little pop in the background.
I've got to, yeah. I think there's a delivery guy.
I love dogs, man. What dogs you got?
They're actually mutts. They're Dachshund, Beagle, Retriever, French Bulldog mixes.
Wow.
And their names are Weezer and Zeppelin. So even
oh my God, Weezer and Zeppelin, that's so hard. Bro, I love that, man. I think that's so rad, man. So what have you been up to now? You've been driving Uber to kind of keep afloat and to kind of keep keep cash coming in. Hey, man, listen, second best thing, at least you get to blast songs all day, right?
This is true. I have a lot of people, and like, especially with so many good albums coming out this year, just getting in the car and driving, where I was normally driving to a concert somewhere, I can still at least put that energy out there, because there's something so satisfying about being in a car, blasting your favorite album.
Always, man.
And just going.
When the sun's coming down and when the sun's coming up, it's my favourite thing ever. I think everyone realises how important music is to us, especially right now. You don't understand how important something is until it's taken away from you, and we have music, but we're going to get back there. Ashley, you're such a legend. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for like radiating the love for music. Is there anything you want to say to anyone out there, or anything you want to ask, or anything you want to put out into the world, or are you good?
I just want to tell people, like, it took me a long time to get where I was, and I know there's a lot of younger kids now too who have these experiences at shows, and that's the only place they feel understood and heard and like they belong somewhere. And if that's how you feel, don't ever give up on that. There's going to be a lot of people who will tell you no, but if it makes you that happy, and it, just don't ever give up on it, because it took me so long, but I have absolutely no regrets, and I can't imagine doing anything else. So when they say, like, chase what truly makes you happy, honestly, do it. Whatever it takes, just do it.
100%. Ash, you're an absolute legend. I hope you have a wonderful time. Give my love to your flatmate, and I can't wait to see you when I'm back rock and rolling in Detroit.
I'm so ready. I had tickets to like 5 different of your shows over here in the States.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to hear the new tunes I've been working on as well. It's going to be pretty wild.
I'm excited.
Let's get it. Ashley, what a legend. I can't wait for live music to be back. Honestly, wash your hands, sanitize, get vaccinated so we can get back together in the mosh pit with all the cuddles, all the kisses, all the smells, all the sounds, whatever, etc., etc. Next week, it's Valentine's Day. Oh my God, it's so cute. I've got Jack Saunders coming on the show, my brother from another mother. It's only going to be available on BBC Sound, so make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bring some flowers.